Round stones are made, not born. In this river, they can be made in as little as 30 hours. It's a natural lapidary. All the loose rock up in the headwaters is angular. The natural lapidary is a surge of drainage from a storm. It knocks these rocks down, rounding them, and producing tons of sand. A slurry of them can come down this river and form a delta. The round stones are known to the local farmers and landscapers by the despised nickname squim potatoes. But at many places around North Olympic, you will notice something else. Once you notice it, it's rather terrifying. The rocks in this bank are rounded, and we know why. But they're also 50 feet up and mixed, and that means at some point in the past, there was a quick, massive slurry movement. You can't move something like that without significant speed. And there are samples of the same thing 1,000 feet above sea level or more. The Canadian plate of Earth's crust smashed into Olympic, and it went under. The north edge of Olympic was pushed up. There are crust uplift samples everywhere, and they don't look very old. There was massive drainage when this happened, and a layer of ice 1 mile thick above everything that was breaking, crumbling, and turning liquid and draining. The sudden mass of broken ice, slurry, and water sloshed back and forth. So the Olympic foothills have steps of accumulated levels down to the floor of the sea of the Juan de Fuca Strait. Let's get a sense of scale here. In the past decade, the Dungeness River went wild in one runoff, and a pile of slurry and debris blasted this section of an elevated railroad bridge. That's why this new steel one was built. That's one high water event from one storm. But I've sampled about 40 streams on North Olympic, and the ravine in which the stream runs is often 225 times the volume of that stream's winter high water flow. So remember the 50-foot bank of slurry with the round stone. The ravines that are 225 times the volume of their winter high water mark are themselves cut in deposits of a slurry movement even larger that laid all of that down. That's why out in the middle of this delta of that massive slurry, 20 miles from headwater, full of the despised squim potatoes, are boulders so big, all we see are a slice 15 feet across and 5 feet tall. And they're buried. The farmer has explained to me that there are 5 of them nearby, 2 showing in this picture. How do you move things like that big, that far? Not sitting on the surface, but buried. Well, here's a clue. This geology hiking guide to Washington State says there was an event a few thousand years ago that radically altered the landscape. He's right, but he may not know why. All around the world, there are records of a massive event. The Greeks spoke of it in their Deucalion. The Mesopotamians called it the Enuma Elish. Genesis called it a destructive flood, a Hebrew term distinct from any of the local flash floods or annual events. It's validated down through time, including Peter borrowing the Greek term for it. Jesus compared the people of the fully documented first century destruction of Israel and the end of time to Noah's flood. What would be the point of doing that if Noah's cataclysm never happened? So remember the round stones. They have a lot to say.